feels that it was a tough call, and it was a tough call to make. But I think even better that he didn't whistle him for a technical.
This is a pretty good officiating.
Real good official. 73-73.
I throw the ball to Hansbrough.
Danny Green's not a bad option either, but he lost it on the way up. Echefu to Douglas. You know it's going up. It's going up and over. And a foul.
I believe they called a goaltender.
Yep, they did it. Big break. I don't know that would have gone in. I think that ball was going to go over the basket without it being touched. Let's take a look.
I agree with you, but it hits the board. It's above the rim. You can't touch it.
Deon Thompson really with a break there. Alley-oop to Green. He missed it. But a foul. 30 points now for Tony Douglas. His third 30-point performance of the year.
And 22 of those coming in the second half, and a lot of them coming down the stretch here. He has just carried the Florida State offense.
Singleton picked up the foul, his third. I think Douglas is making sure that what defense they want to be in, getting the information to his big guys. The team captain in every respect. There you see the foul difficulty. Reed fouled out going to break moments ago, and you see the three Tar Heels each with four. Hansbrough gets the rebound in traffic.
That was a big-time rebound right there.
Gives North Carolina a chance to shoot for the lead right here. They get it to Hansbrough. No. Taken down by Olive. And that's an offensive foul on Douglas. Ty Lawson with a great defensive play. Yeah, Douglas knows that it was really a presence of mind by Ty Lawson that time was outstanding.
There's nothing more that Lawson can do. Douglas is off to the races here, and Lawson is standing in place. He gives Douglas time and distance. You know, you don't have to give a guy with the ball any room at all.
No, you
and that
don't.
was like right in between him having the ball and not. But regardless, Lawson was in perfect position.
Now, that was an easy call to make.
Well, there's a lot of people here, Tim, who would disagree with you.
I understand that. I've been called a lot of things, but a fan is not one of them, Dan.
Well, I'm telling you, they're getting every towel in this building out now.
Yeah, they are.
We saw that play earlier in the game where Ellington slipped and fell down, and they're trying to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Now they're making an announcement. There was some debris thrown on the floor. And you can't have that. Leonard Hamilton is now being informed that there was some debris thrown onto the floor.
Well, one of the things you have to keep in mind, the officials, it's within their power to call a technical foul on the crowd if they keep that up.
I think Leonard wants to make an announcement. I'm sure Roy Williams appreciates that. You got a packed house looking for a signature win. This could go a long way for a program that's not been to the NCAAs since 1998. But your fan base better keep its composure while your team tries to make a move here in the second half. And there's a steal and a foul. Ellington gets his third. Douglas getting into the passing lane.
Deon Thompson, I think, has an opportunity to take the ball to the basket, but he hesitates and then makes a very soft pass, and that's something North Carolina hadn't been able to do in this entire game. That's now 20 turnovers against the Tar Heels.
Douglas 78% on the year at the strike. And the lone returnee from last year's guard-heavy backcourt is up to 31 and counting. Make it 32. The lead is 3 with 2 to play in Tallahassee.
Just no room for North Carolina.
Ellington. Singleton the rebound. A bucket here, and the place comes unglued. Timeout. It'll go unglued anyway. Listen. Well, we've had 6 ties and 4 lead changes tonight. A year ago, I talked about it earlier. North Carolina was number 4 in the country, got off to a rough start. Hansbrough didn't score a field goal until halfway through the second half. But the entertaining game went down to the wire. Ryan Reed had not attempted a 3 in his career. He hit a desperation 3-point shot to tie the game with time running out. And in the extra session, a 10-2 run by the Heels in the extra period secured another victory. Hansbrough finished with 22 and a career-high 21 rebounds. Similar game, really, in so many respects.
It was a big win for North Carolina, but they lost Ty Lawson for 6 or 7 games, and that really disrupted what they were trying to do. Here you get a look. You can see the Seminoles with 1 timeout left, North Carolina with 2. The possession arrow is in favor of Florida State, but what has been disrupted here, particularly in the second half, has been the North Carolina offense with some tremendous Florida State defense.
You've made mention of it many times, Dan. If there is a real flaw in the Tar Heels offense tonight, it's been the inability of finding an open Tyler Hansbrough on the block.
And I think it's not that they're not trying to throw it in there. That's their first option. The defense by Florida State has just been outstanding on the perimeter. And when you're covered up so tightly on the perimeter, it's hard to find the guys.
It's like a quarterback that can't get to a secondary receiver because of a pass rush.
And then when you have an offensive player like Douglas.
Oh, look at that steal by the most valuable heel. Yes, and a foul. Kitchen picks it up. And a chance for an old-fashioned 3-point play.
See, Kitchen needed to let that one go.
Boy, Danny Green with a dagger.
This is just a great steal by Danny Green. Kitchen didn't step to the pass. And then Kitchen compounds the mistake. Green now with 19 points.
His motor never stops. You know, it's interesting, Dan. He was a 6th man. There are a lot of great players in this league starting now that were 6th men last year. I mean, I can't think of Danny Green ever coming off the bench again.
Well, see, now if you're North Carolina, I think what you have to do is make somebody besides Tony Douglas beat you. Double team him, make him give up the basketball. This is a bad matchup for North Carolina.
Yes, it is. Especially with Hansbrough playing with 4. Douglas had to give up the dribble. Got a little help from Danny Green, did Hansbrough. Shot clock winding down. Hansbrough got a touch. Knocked it away. All Douglas all the time. Off the back iron. The rebound to Singleton. And a fresh 35. And only a 3-second discrepancy between the shot clock and the game clock.
See, Leonard Hamilton, I think, doesn't want to call timeout just yet, because he's got that matchup with Hansbrough against Douglas, although Hansbrough did an outstanding job against Douglas.
He's going to call with 15 on the shot clock a timeout, or 14. Well, he does now with 12.
Well, he called, he wanted to wait, but then he waited until Lawson switched back on Douglas. That was an outstanding defensive effort by Tyler.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. You were not a believer at that point.
No. No. I'm figuring if I'm Florida State, this is exactly what I want. Now, the Seminoles are out of timeouts. And you say, well, that's not important. There's only 16 seconds left. They have to get the ball inbound.
That's right.
And remember, there's a 4 second, actually it's about 4.3 between the shot clock and the game clock. So for the Tar Heels, even if Florida State makes it, they're going to have time to get the ball up the court and get a shot.
Well, conventional wisdom is always, Dan, you put the ball in the air, the very least with 4. If you don't have a shot clock issue, put it up with, say, 3 or 4 remaining. Because there is a shot clock discrepancy, more than likely you put the shot up with about 6 remaining.
Well, you're not going to wait until the end of the shot clock. You're going to try to get it down as close as you can, but you're going to take a good, you want to get a good shot.
Put back, many times you get the ball on the rim, and that put back is what can win the game. Now, Roy Williams sees the alignment and calls the timeout. He's also going to get Bobby Fraser, another guard, in the game defensively.
Well, I think he looked to see the personnel that Florida State had on the court, and now he's going to put some perimeter defenders in there. But, Tim, you're absolutely right. What's most dangerous for North Carolina in this situation, I think, is penetration by Tony Douglas to the basket, because that'll draw the defense, and the point you made is a good one. Even if he misses the shot, if the defense collapses on Douglas, then Florida State's in excellent position for an offensive rebound.
There you see the standings after the Wake Forest win in Winston-Salem tonight. No one undefeated in conference play any longer. And Florida State would love to move into that 4-2 category with a win. And who would have thunk it? North Carolina, a team that many people thought could run the table in December, might be staring at their 3rd conference loss, and we haven't reached mid-season as yet. We shall see.
Well, and they were up by 13 points.
That's right.
You don't often see them lose that kind of a lead and a half.
All right, here's Douglas. Look for the penetration that you were talking about. Again, it's Hansbrough checking him. And a shot clock violation. Again, Hansbrough did the number defensively, surprising Douglas. And it's North Carolina that has the ball.
There's got to be more time on the clock than that.
Yep. Should be around 3.6.
Well, it was 16.3 with 12 seconds left on the shot clock.
4.3, yes. It should be right at 4.3.
So there's got to be more time on the clock.
Yeah, I think Mike Eads is beginning to understand that, and will go.
You know, the clock is supposed to be synchronized, and what we had at the last time out, we were talking about, was 16.3 on the game clock and 12 on the shot clock.
Yes, so it should be at 4.3 because it was a violation. Ball never got up on the rim. Yeah. And the officials, Carl Hess, Mike Eads. And I think Mike Eads is going to let us know. Talk to Roy Williams about it.
Okay.
Well, this is highly unusual. They did lose a second. They lost a full second, Dan.
They did.
And that could make a difference. Lawson at the buzzer. Got it! Maybe not. Ty Lawson wins it at the buzzer. On a night when Tyler Hansbrough's 55-game streak of double digits or more, 10-plus points, came to an end, it was his defense that allowed Lawson's offense to win it at the buzzer. He could care less about that 55-game streak.
Now, Tim, the officials, by rule, have to review that. Although, in looking at the replays we've shown you, it looks like that ball definitely was out of his hand. People talk about the speed of Ty Lawson, and you saw that speed right there. They got him the ball. He got up the court.
I'm really surprised they did not impede in any better fashion his move to the basket.
Well, again,
he got there very quickly.
Yes, he did, but in that